What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your man, Stephen Bardo, coming at you with another edition of Bardo's Breakdown. It may look a little bit different back here. I'm not in my studio in Chicago. I'm in Champaign, Illinois. Spoke with the Rotary Club today. Had a really good time with them. Had some good conversation. Kent Brown, newly retired sports information director, introduced me. It was good to have him there. He kind of shared a story or two with the people that they really enjoyed. So had a good time today. Always a good time talking with Illini fans, being back in one of my homes in Champaign. So it's good to be here. Really looking forward to tomorrow's game. Be the game of the year in the Big Ten Conference tomorrow. Purdue versus Illinois in the State Farm Center. We'll get to that here in a second. But thanks for joining, guys. I got something free for you. Go get your copy of Triple Threat, Stephen Bardo's Guide to Basketball Terminology. It's a free guide, y'all. It's free money. You get signed up for the email list as well. So you'll enjoy that. If you don't want to get a free basketball terminology guide, you can join the tribe. Text me 312-847-2739. I come to you via text message. That'll be a little bit different than the email list, but you can get a lot of benefit from either one, or join both if you'd like. So if you want to join the tribe via text me to 312-847-2739, or go to bardostribe.com. That's BARDOS tribe.com, and then enter your email address. There'll be a pop-up window. Put your email address in, and you'll be added to the email list automatically. So thank you. We got the business out of the way here. So player of the week, Peyton Sanford of Iowa, averaged 24.5 points a game, 7.5 assists a game, and I did that wrong. 7.5 rebounds a game, 8 assists per game. He had the first triple-double in Iowa men's basketball history. Doesn't sound right, does it? All the great players that played at Iowa, there's only been one player, Peyton Sanford, to get a triple-double in Iowa history. He's fantastic against Penn State, 26 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists. And Iowa, ladies and gentlemen, is in the at-large conversation. According to Joe Lunardi, Iowa is in the next 4 out. So they're not in the first 4 out. They're in the next 4 out. But at least they're in the conversation. They've been playing well. Winners of their last 2. Well, let me make sure of that before I quote that. But Iowa playing a lot better here as of late. They are, let's see what their record is. They're 18-12. They've won 4 of their last 5. So they lost at Illinois, but that was their only blemish in their last 5 games. They beat Wisconsin at home. They won at Michigan State, lost at Illinois, beat Penn State at home, and went to Northwestern. Very impressive. Even though Ryan Langborg is out with a ankle injury, and of course Ty Berry out for the season, but still an impressive victory by Iowa on the road at Northwestern. Peyton Sanford, Big Ten Player of the Week. Big Ten Freshman of the Week, Cam Christie of Minnesota. Y'all, he's starting to come into his own. Had an outstanding game, career high 23 points against Illinois. Followed that up with an 18-point performance. He averaged 21 points per game and 3 rebounds per game, and a shot 7-13 from the three-point line. Their last 2 games, I should say. So big ups to Peyton Sanford and Cam Christie. All right, this is what y'all came for. I know. We're going to deep dive into the Fighting Illini because we're not even going to talk about the Iowa game to end the regular season. We're going to really focus in on Purdue coming to State Farm to take on Illinois. Purdue's already clinched the share of the Big Ten regular season title. Many think that doesn't mean anything anymore. I heard Brad Underwood quote Tom Izzo and saying that, Tom didn't really think that the regular season meant a lot. It's all about March. And so if that's being said, if that's really the thought process, the way that Brad Underwood and Matt Painter are approaching this, that it's just going to be a hotly contested Big Ten basketball game, and one that'll have some. It's a pride game, guys, right? Because if Illinois beats Purdue, then Purdue would need to win their. Hold on, I got a call. I kind of got distracted there. Let me see who Purdue. Oh, Purdue would welcome Wisconsin at Mackey Arena on Sunday to close out the regular season. So Wisconsin is going to be a desperate team. They're going to desperately need that game. I think they're still in comfortably, but they're just not playing very well. And the thing about the tournament is it's not necessarily who's the best in the regular season, who's playing the best right now. And one of the teams that's playing the best right now is Ohio State. They're 4-1 under Diebler, I believe. So, and Wisconsin is not. They're not playing very well at all. So we'll see what happens. So Illinois could have an outside chance if they could beat Purdue and win at Iowa. If they beat Purdue, they got to hope for Wisconsin to come into Mackey Arena and beat Purdue to get an outright share, because I believe that would give Illinois an outright share. But let's talk about the first matchup. Terrence Shannon Jr. didn't play, right? And so since he's come back, Terrence Shannon has been electrifying. He's lived at the rim. He's put a ton of pressure on opposing defenses. And I don't expect anything differently. Illinois is a great rebounding team. They do well on the offensive and defensive glass. They can limit Purdue to one shot on their misses, get it out. Purdue is going to really focus on getting back and getting bodies in the lane. So can Terrence Shannon get to the rim? That's going to be a prevailing theme throughout the night, because that was missing in the first matchup. Purdue got up by 21 points, and it looked like they were going to walk away with it. Illinois fought back and made it an interesting game towards the end. And they didn't have that factor of the gravitational pull that is Terrence Shannon Jr. When he is pushing, it creates so much havoc on the opposing teams. Can Purdue get bodies back in the paint? To me, this is the theme. This is the recurring theme throughout the night. Terrence Shannon was absent first game. Obviously he's back and he's playing as well as anybody in the country. Can he get downhill and put pressure on the Purdue front line or the Purdue team in general? Last time out, Gary had 18 points and did really well on the glass. I believe he may have had a double-double this game. Goody had 16 points. But here's the thing. Neither player has been really a focal point as of late. Goody has really kind of fallen out of rotation. He's not playing the type of minutes he was then, and Guerrier is starting, but he's not playing the way that he was playing at that juncture. And I think maybe it was the fact that Terrence Shannon was out. There was more opportunities. Quincy Guerrier had a few more looks from three. He seems to be bothered a little bit more by his wrist and hand situation now, later on in the season. I thought there was a period when he first got injured, he was really not good from three-point land. It seems like he's kind of banged it a little bit. He may have re-aggravated a little bit, but his offense has not been anywhere near where it was at that first meeting. And so can Quincy Guerrier find the range? Because I think he's going to get looks. And can Luke Goody get back into the rotation and find himself to be a consistent member of what Illinois is trying to do? And then how does Illinois slow down? Do they try and slow down Edey, or do they try to take something else away, right? Do you double Edey and then you get in rotation? And so now you may be giving up three-point looks that you don't want necessarily give up to Fletcher Lawyer, to Braden Smith, to Lance Jones. I know that Brad Underwood would prefer not to double team, but it's going to be interesting. I recall doing a game last year, and I keep looking outside my window because they put me on the first floor, and there's a lot of activity outside. So I'm just making sure nothing comes my way over here, because there's a few folks milling around outside. I'll take you back to when Trace Jackson Davis came to Assembly Hall. I believe that was last season. And Brad Underwood decided that he was not going to double team the post. And Trace Jackson Davis went off for, I think he had 36. And the problem was, it wasn't that Jalen Hood-Schifino, I think, had a pretty good game. And maybe Xavier Johnson had a decent game. Nobody really went off. But what happened was it got Coleman into foul trouble. Dane Danger ended up in foul trouble. And it messed up the rotations for the Illini defensively because Trace Jackson Davis was killing them because Illinois wouldn't double team. Now, well, Illinois double teamed a little bit in the first game against Edey, but it may be interesting that, I don't know, if it's, will Brad Underwood try early on to maybe not double team Edey and try to stay at home and make Edey beat them in the post? We'll see. I don't know. I've seen Illinois change up their defenses. Look, they're not a very good defensive team. So I don't know if I really don't know if it's going to make a difference in the way that Illinois approaches Purdue, because I think you're going to see some changes throughout the game. This defensive unit, they just have to play situational defense. So they might start by not double teaming Edey in the post. They may try to let the big fella go to work, try to stay out of foul trouble, try to body him up as much as they can, and then, let the chips fall where they may and try to keep Coleman Hawkins, Gary because Damas is going to switch down on him sometimes. Ty Rogers may find himself guarding Edey at some juncture of the game. Obviously, Dane Danger will as well. So what my gut telling me? My gut telling me that Illinois will. Guys, hang in there, man. I'm on some shaky Wi-Fi. If I go out, I'll just try to re-up and come back. But hang with me because the Wi-Fi is a little shaky. So I expect what do I think Illinois will do early? I think Illinois will double Edey early and see how their defense responds, how they rotate out of the double team. Can they keep Edey away from the rim? Can they keep him a little bit off balance? Can they keep him guessing where the defense is coming from? So I think early on, Illinois will show a double just to try to confuse him. And then certain parts of the game, you'll see him. They'll go straight up on Edey. And then they'll come maybe when he puts the ball on the deck one time. Maybe they'll come on the pass. They're going to do a lot of different things. And then I want to remind you guys that Trey Kaufman-Renn was the guy that went off because Edey got in foul trouble in the first matchup. And so Edey wasn't the dominant force. I believe he had 10 points and 10 assists, or 10 points and 10 rebounds. And Edey was 5 of 5 from the field. He missed all 3 of his free throws. He had 10 points and 3 turnovers and 4 fouls. So he was in foul trouble. The player that gave Illinois fits was Trey Kaufman-Renn. He had 23 points on 6 of 11 shooting from the field. He hit 6 of 7 from the free throw line, which he's not great from the free throw line. So Trey Kaufman-Renn really was the one that gave Illinois fits. Lance Jones had 17. Braden Smith had 14. Fletcher Loyer was 0 for. He ended up with, it couldn't have been, he was 0 for 7 from 2, 1 from 3, made his 2 free throws. So he had 5 points. So Fletcher wasn't much of a factor. And Mason Gillis had 8 points. He wasn't much of a factor as well. But Trey Kaufman-Renn was the player that really, really gave Illinois fits in that first matchup. So that's why I think you'll see Illinois double early, just to try to give Purdue different looks on the interior. That's what I think. All right. And then to me, Illinois needs someone else besides Marcus and Terrence to show up and have a career night. I really think this game could be in the hundreds. I really do. I expect it to be in the 90s, but if somebody gets hot, don't be surprised if the game gets to the hundreds. Okay, and can Domask and Shannon both get 30? Yes, but I still don't think it's going to be enough. I think you're going to have a career night from Coleman Hawkins, Guerrier. It could be Ty Rogers. It could be Goody. It could be Dane Danger. Somebody else besides Marcus Domask and Terrence Shannon is going to have a career night. I expect those guys be in their 20s or possibly 30s. You know, they're going to be thinking about Marcus and Terrence will be there. Somebody else to have a career night to pull off this upset. And I haven't seen the line, but Ken Palm has Purdue winning by 1 point. So whatever the line is going to be, it's going to be 1 point or 1.5 either way. But I just think that my gut feeling is telling me that Illinois is going to have the 3 guys that really almost have career nights to beat Purdue, because Purdue, it's going to be a shootout. There's no pressure on Purdue. They're playing for pride. They're going to come in. I know they're going to be balled. That's why I think this game is going to be probably one of the better games in the country overall for the season. But this is definitely going to be the showcase in the Big Ten Conference of the season. I don't know who's calling the game. Let them play, officials. If you guys are watching this and you hear me talking about this, let them play. Nobody's coming to Assembly Hall, 15,000, 15,500. None of those 15,500 people are coming to watch you blow the damn whistle. Let them play. Let them play. All right. I'm going to get to your questions here in a second. Games to watch this week. I had to do them on 2 different panels. Obviously, Purdue and Illinois, 6 o'clock tomorrow. Peacock. All right. Wednesday, 2 big games in the Big Ten. Northwestern at Michigan State. Guys, Michigan State is solidly in the NCAA tournament at large, but boy, are they reeling. And I'm looking for their seeding for Lenardi. Lenardi has them as a 9 in UConn's bracket. So Michigan State, if they stay 8-9 level, and obviously there's a lot of work yet to be done in the Big Ten Conference tournament. But if Michigan State stays at the 8-9 level, they got if they can win their first round matchup, they got to play number 1 seed. That's a tall task that I wouldn't want to see. So Michigan State's work starts Wednesday night, hosting Northwestern, who come off a loss and they're a little banged up a little bit. We don't know if Ryan Langborg will be back for that one. But Michigan State needs to put some work together. This is an important game for them. Also, on Wednesday, Indiana at Minnesota. Minnesota is not in the conversation right now. If they beat Indiana, I believe they will be. They'll start to get in the conversation. This is an 18-win team. And the fact that they're not in the conversation right now is because of their non-conference slate. We understand it. They needed to have an easier non-conference schedule than some of their other Big Ten teams have had, because they were trying to develop chemistry. They were trying to develop confidence, and they definitely did that. So Minnesota's 18-11 right now. If they can get the win at home on Wednesday against Minnesota, and then Sunday they end the regular season hosting Michigan State. No, that's not right. That's Indiana hosting Michigan State. Minnesota on Saturday. Minnesota will finish up at Northwestern. So Minnesota's got 2 really good opportunities here. They can beat Indiana at home and then go to Northwestern and win that. They'll have 20 wins. They'll end up 20-11. They'll be 11-9 in Big Ten play heading into the Big Ten Conference tournament, which is in Minneapolis. This shapes up that Minnesota could play their way. Minnesota. Moving on, talked about Minnesota at Northwestern, then Wisconsin at Purdue. Wisconsin is reeling. They are in. They're in the at-large bid. There's no. They're in. Let me see where Lenardi has them. Wisconsin is a 6th seed in the West region. 6th seed for the way that they've been playing. That's high. So Wisconsin, their non-conference schedule, their strength of schedule is one of the strongest in the country. Their non-conference was great. So their work early has really benefited them from their slide as of late. Ohio State at Rutgers. Don't look now, ladies and gentlemen. Ohio State is playing. All right. Ohio State is 18-12. Right? Things could get interesting with Ohio State. Right? Because they're 4-1 since Holtman was fired. So yeah, they're 4-1. And so they got one game left at Rutgers Sunday. So they've got a week. And then they finish up at Rutgers on Sunday. They'll have, if they could win at Rutgers, they'll have 19 wins going into the Big Ten Conference tournament. And the way that they're playing, they're as hot as anybody right now. It's going to be interesting to see how that turns out. So keep your eye on that Ohio State Rutgers game. And then, I'm on with Brandon Gaudin. One of the last games of the regular season, Illinois at Iowa, 6 p.m. FS1. That will be Sunday. All right. So, all right, let me get to your questions. Thank you for your patience and tuning in. Appreciate you guys. Doug Peterson asked, should Illini let Edey get his and try to stop Jones and Wren, or get fouls with Danger and Hansberry, or both? I think they're going to double team early to give Purdue a different look. Then they'll go straight up. So you'll see some double early, and then some like straight up, and then sometimes they'll let them bounce and then come on the bounce. They're going to mix it up. So I that's what I think, but it could play man straight up because that's what Underwood likes to do in the post. I hope not with Edey, but we'll see. Instead of Edey on Rogers, I would put Zach on Damask. See if Marcus can booty ball Edey and shoot over the top, or force Marcus to shoot threes. Bob, I wouldn't do that. You sound like a Purdue fan. There's no way in hell Matt Painter's going to put Zach Edey on Marcus Damask and get 2 fouls really quickly, because Damask is a crafty scorer. You can get away with Edey being on Ty Rogers. You cannot do that with Marcus Damask. I don't think we'll see that happening. Remember, guys, if you're on Facebook, you can support the page by sending stars as a digital gift. It helps me earn money. I'd appreciate it. Thank you, guys. What's up, David? Is this for Purdue Illinois game? Yes. Title says Boilermakers versus Illini preview. Pretty self-explanatory. Thank you, Joe. Thanks for tuning in. Illinois would win a share of the Big Ten championship if they can beat Purdue at home, and then they can go on the road and win at Iowa. And Illinois will need Wisconsin to beat Purdue in Mackey on Saturday or Sunday. That's how Illinois will get a share of the Big Ten regular season title. What's up, David? Yeah, I've seen that. Fans have been really on Izzo about his handling of Xavier Booker. If MSU loses to both Northwestern and Indiana, do they make the tournament? Yes. Yep. That's why you have a non-conference schedule like Michigan State has every year. They'll be in the tournament. Even if they lose those two, they still got the Big Ten Conference tournament. They're still in the tournament. Illini, only team in the country with 3 dudes that will get 30 at any given time. I don't know if that's accurate. UConn, Cam Spencer, Stephon Jackson, and Klingon and Caravan. They got 4 guys that can hit you for 30. Creighton has Kalkbrenner, Ryan Kalkbrenner, Trey Alexander, and Baylor Shireman can all go for 30. Trying to think. There's a few teams that have offensive firepower. Alabama. Mark Sears, Grant, and what's their wing player? They got guys can score. So Illini not the only ones, but only ones in the Big Ten, I think. Kevin McDuffie has Illini by 4. That seems to be a popular theme there, Kevin. Good to see you, brother. Thanks for tuning in. Who ball a scoop? Good question. How would Edey's game be in the NBA? I think he still would be a problem now. Can run down the floor, get out to shooters is my concern. Edey is, last time I checked, he was the last pick of the first round. So he's definitely on draft boards. I think his improvement is what's making NBA teams salivate. And the fact that they can show him what they want him to do, and he'll improve. So defensively, there may be some concern, but Zach Edey is going to be an NBA player just based on his ability to get better and better each year, and the way that he's running the floor and the skill set that he's showing. I think there's a spot for him in the NBA. Carol Poe Paquette, what's up, Carol? Can't wait for the Illini to take the court tomorrow because it'll be a last home game. This feeling has gotten me for 40 years. Ouch, I'm old. No, it's just a time to celebrate, Carol. That's all. Celebrate a fun year, a fantastic year by the Illini, and look forward to the Big Ten Conference Tournament and the NCAA Tournament because Illinois will be prominent in both. But thanks for tuning in, Carol. Carol is a tribe member, as is Kevin McDuffie. So thank you, guys. Appreciate you. What's up, TM? Good to see you. I don't know why Wisconsin didn't double team Domask, but do you expect Purdue to double? No. Nope. They're going to go straight up. They may try to double him if he gets into the post, but when he starts his movement, I don't think they'll double team him. I don't. I think Purdue has wings that are big enough. You got to remember, there's not a lot of teams in the Big Ten that have a Mason Gillis and an Ethan Morton. These guys are big. They're my size. They're 6'6", 6'7", but Gillis is 230. He's way bigger than I am, and Morton is 215. Marcus is not just going to be able to booty ball them very easily. Plus, they could put Trey Kaufman-Wren on them. They could put Caleb First on them. Purdue has so much more defensive versatility than a lot of Big Ten teams that I don't think they'll have to double team Marcus Domask on the post. I don't see it happening, but TM, you could be right. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you. Interesting. Kevin McDuffie, I think Purdue will press Illinois off and on during the game. Kevin, why do you think that? That's a very interesting point. Kevin always comes up with something that maybe we don't think about, but he's very knowledgeable. So I'm curious to see what he means by that. Thomas Dagley, good to see you, Thomas. Feed Dane in the post and try to draw fouls on Edey early. If Edey is on the bench, we have a better chance. Maybe. I don't think Brad Underwood thinks the same as you do, Thomas, based on me covering the team a lot and understanding Brad a little bit. But it's worth a try, right? Because Dane can put some fouls on Edey, I think, and score on it. Imani Williams. I think so. I think Terrence Shannon Jr. will have a long NBA career. If he can get this legal situation in Kansas worked out to where he's free and unencumbered by anything legality-wise. He's worked hard. He's shown the ability to get up early and improve his game. So I think that he could definitely I think a guy that it works as hard as Terrence Shannon Jr. does. I think he's only going to get better, and I think he could have a similar. I think he could have a similar impact on the team as Iowa Dosunmu is having right now. I don't know if he's as skilled as Iowa, but I think he could have a similar impact as a rookie, and then coming into his second season. I think he's a 10-year NBA vet, at least. I think. My prediction is the Illini 89, the Boilers 86. Okay, I like that. I like that score. Whiskey Tornado, good question, because in the last game there were 36 fouls called. Hopefully there won't be that many this time around. But there were 36 last game. That's a lot. Thanks for tuning in, Whiskey Tornado. Love the name, man. That's spot on, bro. Kevin McDuffie said, with Shannon Jr. back, I don't see Edey guarding Ty this time. You're probably right, but who does Edey guard? That'll be the question. Is Coleman Hawkins? Oscar Sullivan says, is Holman Hawkins Defensive Player of the Year to Big Ten? I think so. And my Big Ten Network brother and friend, Raphael Davis, thinks that Ace Baldwin is the Defensive Player of the Year. And here's why I don't give Ace Baldwin the Defensive Player of the Year. Because right now, let's take a look and see where Penn State is in terms of where they are in Big Ten play. Because to me, this makes a difference. This means something, right? Now, if Ace Baldwin was the overwhelming favorite, that'd be one thing. To me, he's not. He's a lock for first team. And he very well could be, he could be the Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year. If he was, I wouldn't be upset about it, right? Penn State is 14-16. They're 8-11 in the Big Ten. So right now they're in the playing game. I think, I'm not certain, but I think they're in the last four. So they're in the bottom four of the league, and Coleman's team is in second. To me, that means something. People think that because the Illini struggle defensively, that they don't have any good defenders, that's nonsense. Coleman Hawkins is the most defensive. He's the most versatile defender in the Big Ten. He's really playing on 1.5 legs all season because he's got a knee that's been giving him problems all season long. So he's not 100%. Well, nobody's 100% right now. Everybody's nicked up some kind of way. But he's been playing with this most of the season. And he hadn't complained. He hadn't nothing, right? He guards Zach Edey. He can switch out on Ace Baldwin. I've seen him chase guys off screens. I've seen him guard Mackenzie Mbako, good shooter from Indiana. I've seen him guard Peyton Sanford from Iowa. I've seen him guard everybody. So to me, he's the best. He's the Defensive Player of the Year in the Big Ten. That's my opinion, Oscar. Thank you for that question. What do you think of Wisconsin's chances at Mackey? Slim to none. I wouldn't have had to think about that we closed out. Little unsure. The way that Wisconsin's playing right now, that's a tall task to ask them to go into Mackey. Now they could right the ship with that game, but they have the ability. But I think that's slim to none. Let's see what Ken Palm predicted, because he predicts every game, and I want to see, where is Wisconsin? Oh well, go over here to Purdue. So Ken Palm has Purdue winning by 10. And I think the line would probably be similar. So not a lot of people right now will give a whole lot to Wisconsin having a chance going into Mackey Arena. Yeah, you know what, Doug? Oh boy, my computer is. There we go. Yeah, Doug. I think his shot has had a lot of arc all season. I don't think it's really changed. Um, at one point, he was hitting a bunch of them. I'd like to see him return to that for sure. Jeffrey, you know what? It's hard to say because I think the team has versatility. They're big. They're positionally big and not really quick footed. And so I think what you're going to see is Brad just try to figure things out based on the matchup. And so you're going to see them change their defensive philosophy a lot because they have to, because they've got to patchwork defensively what they can do, when they can do it situationally. So, you know, I don't think it will cost them necessarily the way the Brad's coaching. I just don't think they're very good defensively. We'll see how it turns out. Sleaze Dog. What's up, Sleaze Dog? Hold on. What do you think Illini ceiling is? We have the best offense in the country with on of the best big three, but we play no defense and late game issue could come when we face a yeah, sure. I mean, the things that have bothered the Illini all season long are going to do the same in the tournament. It's not going to be any different. Quick, lightning quick guards are going to give Illinois problems. Teams with overall quickness, like Houston's, Auburn's, Alabama's, Marquette's, those type of teams will give Illinois problems just with their overall quickness. And so it just depends on the matchup, Sleaze Dog. They have the talent to get to the Final Four. They really, really do. I don't know if they have the defensive chops to win 4 games in the tournament. We'll see. But they definitely have the talent to get to the Final Four. It's all going to be predicated on matchups and seeding. Emmett Hall, good to see you. What's going on? What's up, Black? Where's the game at? Yes, it's in Champaign. Yep. Do you know why TSJ wears 2 different shoes? I don't know why these young people do half the stuff they do. Have no clue. My gut says put Dane on Edey and muscle him hard and Hansberry. Well, Jeffrey, who's been able to muscle Edey hard this season? The only thing that stops Zach Edey, in my opinion, is foul trouble. That's it. When he's on the floor, he's gonna score. And he's 300 pounds. I don't know if you can muscle Edey at 300 pounds. Even Dane Danger at 260. It's hard. It's hard, man. That's why this guy's gonna be 2-time player of the year. He's gonna be the first back-to-back college basketball player of the year since Ralph Sampson, ladies and gentlemen. That's late 70s, early 80s. That's before I was playing college basketball. This dude is he's a freak. He is a tremendous player. He's one of the best players we've seen in college basketball in a long time. So it may sound good to get Dane, get Hansberry to try to, they'll try to root him out, but you can't out physical him. He's too big, he's too skilled, he's too savvy, and he's too unselfish. Carol Pole Paquette says, need to keep Edey and Purdue off balance, different looks, double team the big guy, but have different guys coming at him to double. Maybe let him go one-on-one with maybe Danger. Yeah, I like that, Carol. Switch things up. Give him different looks because you can't do the same thing against this Purdue team. They'll eat you up. And I don't think that's on a limb. This Illinois team can win, guys. To me, if I had to pick a team, if I was, if somebody said, who do you think is going to win this game? I think Illinois is going to win. Now, by 8, that's a stretch, but I like it, Andrew. I like it a lot. It could be Justin Harmon career night. He's a player. It could be. That's a good call because Harmon's been balling. It could be a Justin Harmon career night. I expect Coleman to have a great night. We need Quincy to have one of his best rebounding games. Simeon Fuller, good to see you, my man. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate the support. And I agree with you. Hawkins could have a great night. Coleman will be TSJ is Defensive Player of the Year race because they look so much at the stats, which I think is a wrong way to judge D. But for me, Terrence Shannon is better than Coleman. Heck, he's my pick for Defensive Player of the Year, best perimeter D in Big Ten. He definitely should be on the first team. I agree. Isn't that something that Terrence could be first team All Big Ten? Coleman could be first team All Big Ten, and yet they're not one of the better Big Ten, one of the worst defensive teams in the Big Ten. Hold on, let me go see where Illinois is. Ooh, Illinois is 103rd defensively, according to Ken Palm. Purdue is 21st. So we'll see. We will see. When you have Marcus Domass is 6'7", Terrence Shannon is 6'6", 6'7", Ty Rogers is 6'6", Quincy Guerrier is 6'8", Coleman Hawkins is 6'10", Dane Danger is 6'10", Luke Goody is 6'7", Justin Harmon 6'3", Nicolo Moretti 6'2"-ish, Amani Hansberry 6'9", 6'8"-ish. None of these guys are quick laterally except for Terrence Shannon Jr. Ty and Terrence can move laterally. Everybody else struggles with that. So they're big. Illinois is big, but they don't move laterally very well as a team. Terrence and Ty Rogers do. I think Justin Harmon wants to play good defense, but he's not quick-footed. He's a good defender. He's tough, hard-nosed, and he takes pride in his defense. With their feet. Ooh, Jonathan Taylor, good question. How much emotion did you have on senior night? How do you suggest these guys handle it big day along with a big game? Here's what I called senior day for Creighton this past Saturday. I was on Westwood One Radio with Kevin Kugler, and so we had Marquette at Creighton. I love this. Do senior day preparations after the game. Don't do it before the game. Don't do it. Because what happened to me, Jonathan, was that, senior day, you're college kids, man, you're not thinking about nothing. Nothing hit me about this being my last game until we got to the ceremony and I had to walk out on the floor with my parents. It took everything I had not to cry because all 4 years flash in front of you. Like that. Like the first thing I remember when my mom took my arm, when I took my mom's arm and I took my dad's arm, the first thing I remember was back in Forbes in the dorms as a freshman. For some reason, I had a Forbes flashback. Then I had an Impy flashback. Then I had a Union Party flashback. Had all these flashbacks. Cams, going to Cams, getting quarter beers. Had all those flashbacks, right? And I was near tears. I was really fighting back tears. And my parents knew me, so they didn't say anything to me. They could tell that I'm struggling. I'm trying to hold it and keep it together. That's too much emotion before the game. Do it after the game. So I don't know how Illinois does it now. I've been here for senior nights here recently. Hopefully they do the celebration or the ceremony after the game because it's a 6 o'clock start. It's going to be over in good time. It's going to be over by 8 o'clock. You can go as long as you want. It's not a late starting game. So it's a 6 o'clock start. Do it after the game because like Jonathan, it's a lot of emotion and it screws guys up sometimes, right? So do it after the game. Then the players don't have to think about it. They just go out. They can focus on the game, and then they can let their emotion out afterwards. Okay. Great question, Jonathan. Thank you for that. Ryan F is spot on. Defense may not look good, but if you're not scoring 85, 90 points, you're not beating Illinois. I'm telling you. I won't say 100, but you got to get up 85, 90 points to have a chance to beat Illinois. Because if you don't, you're not going to win. Good point, Ryan. Jeffrey not happy with these apps and whatnot. Big Ten should be on free channels or one specific streaming platform. Should have to buy multiple subscriptions to watch Big Ten ball. Not fair to the fans. Jeffrey, the Big Ten Conference has stopped giving a damn about the fans 2 or 3 decades ago. When the money got big, they don't care about the fans. See, they take advantage of the fact that Big Ten fans are the most passionate in the country. And I know SEC will say, oh, SEC football. Yeah, they go crazy for football. They don't go crazy for basketball. Big Ten goes crazy for both. So the Big Ten Conference takes advantage of the fan loyalty. They take advantage of it. And they know that you're going to pitch a bitch a little bit about another situation, but you're going to do it because they know you're going to watch your teams. So Big Ten Conference stopped caring about the fans a long time ago. Sorry to say, Jeffrey. I'm just kicking it real to you. It's greenbacks. It's greenbacks. Pick off the ball on offense today. I think Ty Rodgers should just pick off the ball on offense if they put Edey on him, get open threes all night. Didn't quite understand that, but thanks for your take there. You know what? Generally, when you see teams as talented in Wisconsin, there's a chemistry issue there. So, and we'll never know what it is because we're not privy to that. Those things are really kept close to the cuff. But it has to be a team chemistry, a player or two, or there might be one or two guys who are happy with the rest of the group, or there's some kind of chemistry issue there. Because they were playing very well at the start of the year, and it's like they just hit a wall and they can't seem to get over the hump. So they got 2 good opportunities this week, though. Patrick, I love Ty Rodgers. I would start Ty Rodgers, and I would tell him if Edey's guarding you, go at him. Do what you've done against other people. Get at the rim. If he blocks it, look, I would tell Ty, Edey's got to block 5 of your shots before you stop going to the basket. And if he blocks 5 of them, you pat Big Phil on the backside, and then you go to the next thing. Have Ty start the game. If Edey's guarding Ty, let him shoot floaters, let him catch, up fake, dribble, reverse. Let him do his thing and try to go at Edey. I wouldn't change anything. Purdue will want to force turnovers and speed Illinois up. Speed up Illinois. Work for them in the first 10 minutes of the first game. Yeah, but Shannon wasn't playing then, Kevin. I don't think they're going to try that because you've got Ty Rodgers and Terrence Shannon with speed with the ball. So think about if you take Terrence out and you double team Ty and the ball now goes to Marcus Damask or someone like that, they're not speeding up the floor. It's if you double team Ty and he kicks it and you get it to Terrence, they can't rotate fast enough to come back and double team Terrence. I don't think that's going to work. And the only reason I don't think it will work, Kevin, is because Terrence was not present, did not play the first game. Fly, line, I fly. You don't like Goody, huh? Well, I don't think Goody was the sole factor for the outcomes that you're referring to. But now, see, you talking about the camera quality, bro. I'm in a hotel room, not in my studio. So you just lost a lot of cool points right there, partner. Um, all right. Well, we can disagree. We can agree to disagree on that one. I don't think, you know what? I don't think Wisconsin needs to really do anything differently in terms of starting people. I don't think the rotation is a problem. I don't quite know. That's a good question. I don't know. I don't think changing the starting lineup is going to really matter that much because Blackwell plays starter minutes anyway. Okay, Denise likes Coleman to have a big game. She's picking Illinois to score over 90 and win. Coleman Hawkins is a pro. I don't know where he'll get drafted, but he's certainly a pro, and he's been on their radar for quite some time. Marcus Domask could certainly be first team All Big Ten. Whoever's making the choices this year going to have a hard time because there's a lot of deserving people there. Let's see. Let me get somebody. Okay, Forrest Fritz, is it your first time? If it is, welcome to Bardo's Breakdown. Have to make Edey guard on the defensive end and then just let him get his on offense and try to hold everyone else down. Purdue hits threes, they're almost unbeatable. Yeah, I don't like that approach. I think you try to slow down Edey the best way you possibly can, and then you try to stay home on others. I don't know. I try to double team Edey in the post and then rotate. But this team seems to have problems rotating, so we'll see what happens. But I double team Edey. I wouldn't let it. Edey will kill you. If you just go straight up and he knows it and you're not coming to help, he might have 50. I wouldn't do that. Let me get to some other ones here. Wow. Dick Stillwagon. How many levels of excellence is Matt Painter above each coach in the Big Ten other than Izzo? How many levels of excellence? Well, let's see. Purdue has a 2-game lead, so I guess he's 2 games ahead of everybody else in the Big Ten. You guys are funny, man, and you just guaranteed yourself for me not to put you up on the screen anymore. So thank you for that. I appreciate that. This is a good question. Great question. So it'll be you and Hummel and play-by-play guy, 3 commentators. How do you think that dynamic will work? Not very easily. That's a very difficult thing. That's a very good question. And me and Robbie were ironically in Creighton. He was doing the TV with Brandon Gaw, and I was on the radio with Kevin Kugler. He's like, Bardo, I've never done a 3-man booth. I said, I have, and it ain't easy. So what I'll give you guys insight because you're tuning in. What we'll probably do is I'm going to let Robbie jump out early. If he's got something that he really wants to say, go ahead and punch it. And then I'll come in later. Noah Eagle will be with us, and Noah understands 3-man booth. So he's like, yeah, you and Robbie will be probably doing most of the talking. So it's just a feel. It's a very difficult thing to do. But Robbie and I have great respect for one another. And, you know, it's going to be fun because the game is going to dictate everything, and we'll just react off the game. But it is very, very difficult to have a 3-man booth. So thank you for that question, ILL. That was a very good question. Yeah, Carol, we're both calling the games. Let's see. Oh, Simeon, thank you. I appreciate you and the others that come on here faithfully weekly. I really appreciate your support. Thank you very much. Oh boy, I love it. We get some folks. Oh my gosh. Let me see. Can I get? Let me get everything else here. Yes. Oh, wait a minute. There you go, Dick. Give you some love there, partner. Are you on the Westwood One radio call for the NCAA tournament? Yes, I am. I will be in Omaha, Nebraska with Kevin Kugler on the first and second round. So I'm looking forward to that. And you know, me and Kevin, that's my guy. So we're gonna have a good time with that. All right, it looks like that'll do it. Let me go back here. Remember, guys, if you want to join Bardo's Breakdown, you want to get a free guide, man. It's free. It's like free money. Go to bardostribe.com, BARDOS tribe.com, and get your free copy of Triple Threat, Stephen Bardo's Guide to Basketball Terminology. You'll be automatically put on the email list. And if you don't want to join that way, you can text me to 312-847-2739 if you want to join via text. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Great time. Excuse the hotel Wi-Fi. Thank you for the Purdue fans. Best of luck to you guys tomorrow. Best of luck to you Fighting Illini fans. You guys enjoy the rest of the last week of the regular season. Can't believe it's already here. And we got March Madness right around the corner. So take care, guys. Enjoy the game tomorrow. Love you all. Until next time, holla, y'all.